there's going to be a lot of people who be super pissed at me if I don't start asking some questions about the goddamn band. So I want to get.
Ask about the goddamn band. Right though, or can I make my own shit? Just kidding. I'll answer them.
No. I'm curious too because what was about 5 years ago that you and Kat got back together and you guys were playing shows. It was kind of going for a while, and then it kind of stopped. I understand there was there was some light drama from the outside in regards to bass player, and then it kind of seemed like there was not a lot of clear ideas about what was happening. Like, what will you go on record and say exactly, from your perspective, whatever you can about the Babes in Toyland reunion?
Uh-huh.
Is it done again? Is it just kind of on hold like everything else? Like what's going on?
It is done again, and
Okay.
It's done because quite honestly, Kat is an addict, and she is not a functioning addict anymore. So,
Gotcha.
that's the bottom line. We got together 5 years ago, and we, with the help of three lovely gentlemen in California, and they still are phenomenal men, but without them, we could have never have done it. They had our backs. And I lived in Austin, Kat lived in Minneapolis, and Maureen lived in LA. And we'd go to LA because Maureen had a daughter that she couldn't travel, and her daughter was in school. And I was like, yeah, I'll leave Austin to go to LA. I've got a lot of friends out there. But we would rehearse for a solid week. We had a rehearsal space. We'd go to the studio. It's like a rental studio space thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go there, rehearse. Then we did our shows. And then we had a bass player change, and Kat had asked somebody if they wanted to play bass when we were out at a show. I think it might have been maybe Lee Ronaldo at the Triple Rock or something. I don't even remember. Okay. It was somebody was playing, and all I know is that Kat said, "Oh, I want her to play bass," and then she just asked her. And then from there, and then we had to take. This was when we kind of already had a bass player. So then that went whatever.
Yeah, because you were playing with Maureen, right?
Yes. So Maureen was not in the picture anymore, and then we had the Clara Salyer do it, and it rocked the world. And the last show that we did was that Cal Jam that Dave Grohl does in Santa Barbara. No, that's San Bernardino. Where San Bernardino? Which is one that's right in LA. It's like, is that San Bernardino?
Yeah, San Bernardino County.
But is there a town called San Bernardino?
There is San Bernardino. I think that's where they had the remember the US Festival? I think that was San Bernardino, if I remember right.
Okay, well, I think that's where the Cal Jam was too.
Okay.
San Bernardino, because I own land in Yucca Valley.
Yes.
In San Bernardino.
I've seen the pictures on your Instagram.
Yeah, so we drove out there.
That sounds creepy as hell. I'm sorry.
No. We went out there and played that, and then that was the last show that we ever played because after that that was the end. That was all that was the end of the functioning, and that was really, really, really a non-functioning show. So it was a great show. It really was. But yeah, that was after that. It went within 2 months. We couldn't even rehearse. There was not even, we went over and tried to rehearse, and it was not even couldn't even walk 10 feet to get to a guitar. So that was the end of that. And I had booked actually 4 shows because the Super Bowl was here.
Mm-hmm.
And I booked 4 shows during that, which would have been so much fun. And after trying to rehearse once, I was like, nope, it's done. The past 2 months have turned into it's never going to happen again. And so it's really sad. It breaks my heart, and there's nothing I can do to change it at all. I don't think anyone can change it. I don't even think if she even tried to, I don't think there's any, I don't know if there's, I don't know. But, cause I haven't seen her for over a year, probably. She lives just a few blocks from me, but, and she's living her life. I talked to her a few weeks ago. She called me and said she'd keep in touch, and then I never heard from her, but that's always how it goes. All these people had all these things saying, "Oh, I said that she disappeared," and I'm like, I never said she disappeared. I've never said that. I've never said Cat disappeared.
Yeah.
I've never. She just doesn't keep in contact, and she never has phones, and there's no way to,
Turns out it's easier when you have a phone to keep in contact with someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, it's a huge drag, and it just breaks my heart because, man, we could be ruling, we could be traveling and touring and having so much fun. Because when we did do it, it was really fun, but that last drive out to California, not so fun. No bueno. Even though the show was great, the festival was just a blast, and
it was San Bernardino, by the way. I double checked it.
It is okay. Yeah,
it's gonna bother me. I was gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like San Bernardino, but
yeah, I thought. And
you're right.
Yeah, so that pretty much was the clincher, and that's the story. And now Clara has moved to Michigan. And I actually don't know where Kat lives, to be honest. But like I said, I just talked to her it was probably more like 5 weeks ago. And she said that she'd keep in touch. She always says that, and then she never does. And so, but I hadn't talked to her for probably 7 months before that or something. But
yeah.
So it's a drag because she's like, I never had a sister. So I'm always like, you're my sister. And, she's wonderful, and I love her. She's my sister. We've experienced more together than, as much as any other person that has traveled into her. 30 years we were a team.
Well, yeah, you develop that almost kind of shared brain telepathy thing that happens when you just play with someone for so long, where you just can, it isn't even like you're thinking about it. It's just snaps right in.
Yeah. It's crazy, but so that is what happened there. And, I don't know.
It's really,
yeah. So anyway,
so